Hi and welcome to our step-by-step guide to unlocking Freya as a companion in Conan Exiles. This is a complete guide that covers all perk options and each step of the quest, so if you are stuck on a particular step, feel free to use our timestamps. We'll also showcase all related rewards in the very end. Before we get started, while we can't avoid some story spoilers as part of the guide, we'll avoid it as far as possible. Our focus are the quest steps, tasks and perk options, with the story being there for you to enjoy as you progress. On the topic of the story, all dialogue options you are given are purely lore. Your answers won't impact anything beyond the dialogue you're having. To start the companion quest for Freya, you need to travel to the Highlands and locate Freya's hovel in G9. Once up at Freya's hovel, approach and talk to Freya next to the bonfire. Once you have learned that some jackals came by and kidnapped her husband, you are asked to search the nearby bodies for clues. Simply interact with all 3 bodies around the camp. The order you do that in does not matter, as it will be the last body search that triggers a note to appear in your inventory. If you want to read the note, do it before returning to Freya. Talk with Freya again to learn more of the story, and that the next step leads to Stormwatch. Stormwatch is located in E9 and Freya won't be following you for this task. It's a camp you surely have come across before. It's on the ridge around the southwest side of New Asagarth. Clear the camp as needed before entering the main building. There you'll find a bag of gold, a note and a journal. You only need the journal on the right for the quest, but you might as well grab the coin and other note as well. With proof in hand, head back to Freya to hear what she has to say about your findings. Again, if you want to read the notes, do that before talking to her. Now, for you to be able to progress to the next step, you will need to wait 8 hours. That's 8 real-life hours. However, it does not require you to be logged in nor to play the game. This is the same whether you play on an official or dedicated server, or are playing in single player. There will be multiple such quest timers during the questline. When 8 real-life hours have passed and Freya is ready, she will come visit you where you are. If you have multiple bases, she should be honing in on where you're well established. We can also confirm that a tavern is not required, and that alternatively, you can also interact with her back at Freya's hovel if she's nowhere to be found. Interact with Freya at either location, then meet her at Freya's hovel for the next step of the quest, where she will follow you for a few tasks. The first is to hunt down 2 rabbits. You can locate those just to the east of her hut. Note that for the task to update, you will need to let her do the killings. Once done, she wants to hunt down some animals that fight back. And she also wants to locate some ingredients for a wound salve. Animal-wise, boars, wolves as well as stags in the area will all count. And it does not matter if you kill them or if it's Freya who kills them for the quest to update. While you hunt down the 3 animals, you can also simultaneously locate the 3 ingredients. So with that in mind, here's our favorite route that gets both tasks done, the killing and the ingredients. Note that all ingredients can be found in multiple places in the Highlands, but this is our preferred route that doesn't require too much traveling. Oh, and you will not be the one to collect these. Freya will automatically collect the fire moss once in range. And the Singe route, just a bit further west from the fire moss spot. Then finally the Atalis Kiss in the Wolf Den, again just a bit further west. Once you got the 3 kills and the 3 ingredients, talk to Freya to trigger the next part and a new 8-hour timer. Again, that is 8 real-life hours, no matter if you play online or locally, and as well if your game or server is running or not. After 8 hours, Freya will again visit you in your base, so keep an eye out. She indicates she's ready to hunt down some larger animals, so once you are ready, head to Freya's hovel. Talk with Freya, she will task you with hunting down a bear, a boar, elk and wolf. For the bear, a regular one will count. There are a few spawn locations in the area, including one just above the hovel. The wolf can be a mini-boss, the ones with a skull above them, or the greater white one just below Freya's hovel. Finally, for the elk and the boar, it needs to be mini-bosses for them to count. There are plenty of one-skull elks around. While for the boar, mini-bosses have a chance to spawn where many regular spawn, but we only know one more guaranteed spot in this area, and that's far south. This is our map of the area to help you out. If you can't find a kill, check another spot, and keep in mind that some do roam. This is also the first step of the questline, where your actions directly affect what perks your Freya companion will have when she joins you in the end. These are the 2 perks related to this part of the quest. Your Freya will learn Carnage if she's the one that dealt the most damage to the 4 larger animals. So for Freya to get this perk, make sure to not take a too active role in killing them. Should you happen to deal more damage to the larger animals than Freya, then she will rather learn the skill Resolute. Once you have located and killed, or let Freya kill all 4 larger animals, interact with her for the next step. Find a campfire. We have tested it with a regular small campfire and a bonfire, both work. Alternatively, you can always return to Freya's hovel and she'll use her own bonfire. Once Freya is done, she will want to prepare for the next step and thereby triggers yet another 8 real life hour timer. When she visits you again, Freya will ask you to meet her at the Volcano for the next step, or more specifically, you'll need to get to the forge within the Well of Skelos instance. It's a very hot place, so make sure to dress appropriately and bring some ice and anything else you feel is needed to survive there. Once inside the Well of Skelos, you can fight the first group of NPCs or simply run down the path to de-aggro them. You do have to fight the 2 snake men before approaching Freya, who waits atop the stairs leading down to the forge. Interact with her, then lead her down to the forge. Now, how you do this next part will decide the second perk Freya gets. If you successfully kill the enemies that spawn, and in this case it doesn't matter who kills them, Freya will receive the perk Savage Swings. Alternatively, if you let her get defeated, she will get the perk Unrelenting. Once done, talk to Freya as to trigger another 8 real life hour timer. When Freya is ready to talk, she'll task you with the next step. This requires you to meet Freya at the entrance of New Asagarth. Talk to her to learn more about who she's looking for. As it turns out, you will have to fight your way towards a hut not far from the altar in the west side of the town. Passing the altar and then another hut, take the stairs up, then head left and into the large round hut. Here you'll find the person Freya was looking for, Asagarth. Once defeated, interact with the target for the next part of the lore. This ends with Freya needing to prepare and once again triggering a final 8 real life hour timer. Like before, she will either visit your base or talk to you at her hovel once she's ready. For the final step in Freya's questline, she asks you to meet her at Nordhof, which you can find just north of New Asagarth in F10. This final encounter will also decide upon Freya's 3rd and last perk. Without going into all the details spoiler-wise, if you finish the final fight with a concussive weapon, you will allow Freya to get the perk Knocked Loose. And if you use any other regular damage weapon in the final fight, Freya will receive the perk Bloodbath. The choice is yours. Clean the camp so that Freya can approach the NPC at the altar, then let the story play out and lead you to your final fight in Freya's questline. Once done, Freya will join you as your companion. She's at level 5 and like other followers can be leveled up to 20. If you inspect her stats, you can also see the perks you unlocked through your various choices. If you were wondering, yes, it is possible to unlock Freya multiple times. You simply need to venture back to her starting location as to begin the questline again. It should take no longer than 1 real life hour for this reset to happen. Beyond getting her as a companion, you will also unlock the knowledge for 2 items. The first is a regular and epic version of a short sword called Jortrimul. It's a sweet looking sword that Freya is equipped with once she joins you. The second is a regular and epic version of a medium helmet called Gjerdmundbu. Unfortunately, the helmet wasn't visible when equipped at launch, but here are the stats. And that was our guide to unlocking Freya as a companion. If there's anything we did not answer, don't hesitate to ask us in the comments below. If the guide helped you, we'd also greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and of course feel free to subscribe and share this guide.